NRC. And of course, are they really conservative or reactionary in their approach? What's their core beliefs? Event in Edo State is making most political pundits and watchers to say, in Nigeria, it appears politics and political parties are just mere vehicle to attain power the way it suits you. That's why, don't be surprised, the two gentlemen, even though they've been very consistent, at least for all that I know them, really? Are they? Because I know they have mentors. They have mentors who have been in AMPP, AD, APC. And they also have mentors who have also crisscrossed PDP, Labour, ADP. Oh, no, never an ADP anyway. So this evening, that's what we'll be looking at. Edo on my mind. And let me introduce you to two gentlemen, friends of the house, who will be helping us make sense of this 60 minutes conversation live on your number one radio station, Fresh FM. On my immediate right, the one they call Saraman, the regular here at Southwest Political Headquarters, one of our in-house contributors. He joins me again. He was also here yesterday with the Penkele team, right? Fatai, Adesokan, good to have you back here.
Thanks, the mayor. Like I do say, I must commend you. Like they do say, the media are the fourth estate of the realm. You indeed have actually been creating such a platform, a developmental concept, in which Oyo State people are happy, Southwest people are happy. Larry King of Oyo State, here we are.
From Adesokan. And here to go. Here to go. Thank you so much. I'm humbled. Anyway, like I said, today's Father's Day, and the gentleman here, we've agreed we are going to be brutally honest. Irrespective of party affiliations, we are going to say it the way it is. Look, I believe strongly that when you write online, when you come in, on public spaces like this, and your judgment, your comments are impaired, or you are blindfolded based on your partisan, based on your premeditated, other impression, other affiliations, when you want to address public issue, then to me, your education is useless. Of course. It's good, of course. You can't always show biases for a cause. But when it comes to general public interest, I think it's very important. The essence of going to school is to be able to say things that are commonsensical, not blinded by partisanship. And that is why my friend also returned here. The one they call Rotimi, Adeni Ojasope Johnson. I would love to have him here live anytime. Deep guy. Good to have you here. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you, Mayor. It's a big pleasure to be back in the studio, not as an Amo Biara, but as a main fighter this time. Happy Father's Day to you and all our listeners at home, and my colleague here, Fatai Adesokan.
Gentlemen, let's flag it off. Let me start with Adesokan. Of course, you were here yesterday.
Yes.
The noise of the gun fired by the Labu in this studio yesterday, even though the noise of that gun has gone down, but the smoke is still everywhere as we speak. What will you call the highest point in terms of remarks you had from him here yesterday, and why?
The highest point of my remarks, of Adelabu Penkeleme's remarks, was the way he actually calmed and admonished the incumbent governor as a critical stakeholder, particularly on the return of school children back to schools, the GSS3, the SS3, and the primary school pupils, and going further about commercial investments and social investments, telling the government about etiquette of governance, that there are clear distinction between commercial investment and social investment as regards to motor parks, 15 billion naira motor parks, in which the state government was not even actually bringing the money from excess, go to rush to bank to go and borrow. And it tells us more about misplaced priorities, which in turn the 2019 gubernatorial candidate of our party spoke heavily and sent strong signal to Ikuben governor as an accountant. I mean, somebody that served as deputy governor of CBN, FCA, and the financial minds around his excellency should be able to, or to have actually spoken to the governor that this is misplaced priority and Oyo State deserves better, not salary payment states.
So that's what we consider as the highest point of his, remarks yesterday. Yes. He will tell us the lowest point, but I just want Uja to quickly respond to what you had. What he considers highest point, I mean, you just heard him now.
Thank you, Mayor. You admonished us in the beginning that we have to be very careful. We have to be objective, and we must have it in mind that we are addressing the public. Well, what he said now, reacting to it, will also intertwine with my own observation of the lowest point. Because if an accountant will come to the studio addressing the public and say that he doesn't require any critical thinking to pay salaries, I believe very strongly that he insulted the sensitivity of the public, the electorate, the civil servants, the pensioners, and their families, many of whom have died because they could not pay to buy drugs. They could not put food on their table. You have situation where you were owing 18 months. So if it doesn't require any critical thinking from an accountant, why could Ajimobi not meet up with it? If it is so fundamental and is so simple that anybody could have done it. So in our team, it's not an achievement to pay salary, but you look at the consequences of regular payment of salary, having that amount of money revolving in the economy of the state, the effect. I was so disappointed that somebody that finished from OAU, like Akiola will say, like late Honorable Ayola will say, I doubted if he finished from that same school. Because as an accountant, you should know the import of that in the economy. Engineer Seyi Makinde, engineer, he has beaten him to it. He should have started by apologizing to the people that, look, if the former governor could not pay, he would look into it. You don't come and tell us that it doesn't require critical thinking. If it doesn't require critical thinking, why could they do it?
Oh, Jasokbe, you are shooting yourself in the foot. You are not being objective. Certificates of OAU parading by our...
No, you said it's FCA.
Hold on. I'm just trying to set record straight. For somebody to have actually graduated from OAU and is actually laying the background for His Excellency, the way the PDP in Oyo State parading themselves as if no governor in this state pays salary during their tenure is becoming worrisome and petty and pedestrian. Thinking outside the box, the salary payment and what have you guys are actually clamoring upon, it is actually the statutory allocation coming from Abuja. And he said so on this podium yesterday that His Excellency acclaimed 48 billion naira assets could not humanitarian affinity and what have you that he claimed when he was gubernatorial aspirant and later PDP gubernatorial candidate, you could not donate it. Just 100 million out of 48 billion assets. Then anybody of Oyo State great sons and daughters follow suit. It tells you more about payment of salaries. What he emphasized is payment of salaries. My 6-year-old daughter will pay salary as governor of Oyo State. Allocation comes from Abuja. We did not pay just for prayer for 2-3 months or 4 months. You did
not pay.
The government, when it was national financial issue, when in 2014 Okonjo-Iweala, dated back 2012, with Sanusi Lamido, informed Nigerians that there will be a time in this country that salaries will not be paid if subsidy of this era will not cut down. And we saw the mess when we came on board in 2015. States were being bailed out across the nation, except for Lagos, Port Harcourt, and Kano. So for we now, at this juncture of our lives, this is Oyo State, this is Nigeria, this is public sphere. An essence of democracy is for our people to enjoy dividends of democracy. On that note, His Excellency Engineer Seyi Makinde has been elected to do the needful. We are not going to be clapping for payment or prompt payment of salaries as if Akala did not pay salaries in this state.
That's okay.
Bola Ige pay salaries in this state.
That's
Oluloyo
okay.
pay salary for short 3 months in this state.
You said it doesn't require clapping, and the last administration could not even do it.
In
So
what
that's
sense?
okay.
When
That's okay.
we
said
pay
they
salaries,
did not-
Ajimobi did not owe a kobo
Gentlemen,
till he left.
Gentlemen, you know you are fathers, right?
Yeah.
And we said today, we I want to see comrades, in terms of spirits that we will display.
Ojasope is our man.
I only said we should just, reflect and flash back at what we saw yesterday. Ojakwe has said, as far as he is concerned, the lowest point of yesterday's conversation has to do with the way the guests trivialize the issue of payment of salary to Ojasope. It's a big deal, when you fulfill your responsibility towards folks that work for you. If our guest yesterday feel it wasn't a big deal, he's missing the mark. From Adesokan, you feel so strong that our guest yesterday hammered home the point when it comes to, you heard him, what he said, the issue of the need for us to add value to governance, for us to have the right approach to governance, getting our priorities right. Well, the public, they've had. Let them be the judge. Let's go straight away to Edo State, where comedy of error is playing out. Now, I just want to ask, let me start with Adesokan. The governor of the state, Governor Obaseki, and the travails he's facing as we speak. This was the governor elected on the platform of your party,
Yes.
APC. He's running up his first term. Can you help us make sense? The travail that he has faced. Will you say Obaseki is guilty as charged by your party?
Of course, absolutely correct. The travails of Obaseki is of a self-inflicted one. And a sitting governor has an avalanche of opportunities to drive the state safely, bearing in mind how he emerged as gubernatorial candidate of our party. In 2016, Chief Odigo Oyegun, the former national chairman of our party, was elsewhere in Abuja, while the incumbent national chairman, or let me say suspended national chairman of our party, Adams Oshiomhole, was the outgoing governor of Edo State. Be that as it may, Odigo Oyegun had interest in Edo State. He wanted the deputy governor of Oshiomhole, Pius Odibu, to be our gubernatorial candidate. But Oshiomhole actually had his way, and Obaseki emerged as gubernatorial candidate of our party. Fast forward, election was actually conducted. INEC declared him winner of the election. He trumped up Eze Yamu, the then PDP candidate, in that election. Shortly after the election, Oshiomhole left office. Obaseki became governor. There are certain issues cropping up within the party that a sitting governor has liberty to exercise his constitutional rights to direct affairs of the states without any hindrances. But in the moment you have interferences from he's an adult. But the moment you have a governor orchestrating political crisis by himself, mismanagement of political stakeholders, a particular platform sponsored your election for you to have become the governor of Edo State. It was not an independent candidature that actually let you be the governor of Edo State. And there should be a kind of party government relationship in which Oshiomhole was actually canvassing. I am your immediate predecessor. You served under me, and these are this, like we are witnessing in Lagos and Yobe states since 1999. So, and Obaseki obnob with perceived political detractors of Oshiomhole to actually be kicked against Oshiomhole. How could a sitting governor under the same platform tell his own national chairman? It's just immediate instances when former governor Olun Loyo became governor of Oyo State, old Oyo State, telling Adesokan Loye, the enigma, that you should not enter Oyo State, Tonjobiwa Mbadan, Tonjobiwa Loyo State. It tells you more about what are you trying to do as a sitting governor. Are you elected, or are you concentrating to give dividend of democracy to people in Uromi, Ubiaja, Irua, Ishaland, Benin, Oredo, Auchi, Sabongida Ora, or you are just out there to fight an Oshiomhole, a perceived, in quotes, a perceived enemy, political enemy.
Well, I love what you just said now, bringing the people to it. I mean, from what you just said, this governor has a problem with a man.
Yes.
A national chairman.
Yes.
But good governance. Tell me where, you just mentioned all these, towns and, communities in Edo State. Don't they have problem with him? Don't they have?
Isaac, I'll be sincere with you and our people today. And I want everybody to note this. In political realities, if a sitting governor play God politically and mismanages, in fact, quote me, mismanages political stakeholders, such governor has his days numbered in office.
In your party.
Performance, not in our party. It happened in PDP. In 2003, former governor of Anambra State, Mba Dinuju, did not commit any offense. But Emeka Ofo, his godfather, had a running battle with his godfather. The certain Chris Uba emerged with his brother in the villa with Obasanjo. They brought in Chris Igige, whom they later actually bosom out of office. So it is not saying APC. I'm talking about characters in political realities within Nigerian political context. A sitting governor is not limited to Edo State. If a sitting governor in Oyo State, like we are witnessing, the smoke is now coming out now, mismanages political stakeholders, such governor should forget his re-election. It happened in Old Oyo State. The enigma, Cicero latest. Okay.
So I know. So from what you have said, now my question is this man guilty as charged? So from your explanation, is this all about 14 laws of power? His offense is that he took on
politics produce government.
No, excuse me. He took on the chairman, and forces that enthroned him ab initio.
Yes.
And that is sin, right?
The governance will be affected. It has been affected.
What's as an APC member, how will you rate Obaseki's performance, in the last 4 years?
In fact, the cross of the matter is when we have an Obaseki on our platform, the party has its own manifesto in which Oshiomhole pathfind, and you will not be happy when a successor, just like when if we had an Penkele Messi succeeding Abiola Ajimobi, and he's now actually going astray out of the pathfind political development, infrastructure development in which Abiola Ajimobi pathfind already. The party comes to play. That why are you derailing? Why are you going out of the box? You can add value to governance.
Are you saying that if Obaseki hadn't gotten a problem with Oshiomhole and your party has given me the opportunity to fly your flag, will you be saying what you are saying now?
Of course, it's beyond an Oshiomhole. Oshiomhole is just a central figure. When a sitting governor stand up and decides to abuse the platform in which he contested and won election, it becomes worrisome. It happened, and Obaseki, our people just speak sense to him. He's late already, and Obaseki will have actually read from history. The late Abubakar Rimi of Old Kano State, when Jigawa was inclusive. The same thing applied to him when Talakawa's central figure, Aminu Kano of Nepu, PRP, the lower educated Balkunzuo in 1983 defeated Almighty in court.
So basically, so from what you have just said, the summary basically is this: if you're a governor,
you must marry politics and governance so that you can actually navigate better.
Let me flip back to Oja Sokwe. I mean, comedy of errors in 2016, 4 years ago, right, when we had this election, your party PDP fielded Izeyamo and painted Obaseki as a non-starter as far as the people of Edo State is concerned. You fought that election. You even went to court because your party believed Yamu was actually robbed. The PDP stance in the last 4 years has been the fact that, prior to Obaseki defecting, you've always believed that this governor has not performed. PDP was even ready to run against him. Now, he's not been confirmed he's going to be your candidate, but he's back in your party. Will you say, like he had said, was this man actually guilty as charged?
Thank you, Mayor. No, the objectivity will start from 2016. And you must understand something, that what Nigerians are clamoring for in our democracy is the absence of godfatherism. Now, godfatherism doesn't mean that someone should discountenance the platform on which he came in. Because on the day of election, you are actually voting for the party, not the person. Although in reality, we look at the personality, not the party. So marrying these two together, we must be sincere to ourselves. There is a pattern which Nigerians are beginning to agitate against, and that is godfatherism and godfathers hindering the performance of the chief executive officer of the state. Look at Kwara State. It went against my party, PDP.
Okay.
And Nigerians hailed them. You understand? So what is good in Kwara State is also good in Edo State. Look at, in the time of Fashola, it was going to happen. But Asiwaju Tinubu was smart enough to read between the lines. He was going to climb the trees beyond the leaves. So he reverted to use Fashola. They tried it again during Ambode. They are beginning to make a negative pattern in our political system. If Nigerians allow it, like they say, we deserve the leaders we get. Edo people are talking. And I must be sincere with you. Obaseki has performed in terms of infrastructural development and management of the economy of Edo State. The people of Edo, I reached out to some of them, not partisan people now. I'm not talking based on a politician now. I'm talking about what we really desire to move this country forward. It does not really matter the party now. Let's look at what the people in Edo State want. So if you now, the same Obaseki that Oshiomhole called the Messiah, that it will be for you, you are a winner, God win, and you call Iyamu thief according to your previous records, and you are now celebrating as a national chairman of a party, he owed the people of Edo State apology. That means he cannot be trusted. Because if you're selling the same man that you blacklisted 4 years after, then your sense of judgment cannot be reliable. But partisanship aside, to what extent, if after 21 years of democracy, we are still revolving around this thing? Because if the decision of the electorate is final, nobody will toil with such things. If you know that at the day of election, there will be no manipulation, and it is whatever the popular, the majority wants that will take the stand.
Votes will count.
Yes, you won't toy with such decision. But because there are still manipulations, because the votes are not really counting, that's why somebody can just be imposing his own decision on the chief executive officer of the state. Yes, you have leaders in the party, but when the leaders are overbearing, when the leaders are playing God, can you imagine? They disqualify Obaseki because I was missing in his name, Obaseki.
And that's our party. Your platform can be very
Hold on, I'm hearing you.
Aliyu and Aliu in the same party. It was the same thing. Muhammadu and Muhammad,
according to Supreme Court,
in the same party, was the same thing. You know, for God's sake, if you're coming to justice,
equity
is
clean hands, right?
Yes. So let's not, one thing that I took from your introduction is that, look, people at home, they are very sensible. They can read between the lines. So even when we get into the studio and we begin to play to the gallery of our party members, they can draw between the lines. They know who is making sense. So we should not just. It's not because Obaseki has not picked the ticket in PDP. He has just only joined PDP. But I would not want to overpraise him. But from what I have found out from the people of Edo State, they are going the way of Obaseki. I pray he picks the ticket in PDP so that he will fly the ticket in PDP.
But how will your party have felt and how will your party have reacted? Because I'm aware there were, processes that were already in play prior to this development from APC. Yeah. PDP was actually getting ready to get a credible candidate to face Obaseki and defeat him at the poll before this development. Is it not more of an hypocrisy now? Suddenly, somebody that you have been railing against for over 4 years. Now, like Riley said, he hasn't picked your ticket yet, but it's most likely he's going to pick. Yeah. Does it make sense? Now, will you be happy as a member of the PDP? Is a Yamu has always been your candidate. If the election comes and Is a Yamu wins, won't you be happy? Is this Yamu not a member of your party?
Is a Yamu?
Yes.
He's in APC.
No, look, he has always been a PDP man. That's what I'm telling you. So I mean, hold on a second. He has always look. You people fought 4 years. Hold on a second. You people fought 4 years ago, and you believe it was even robbed. I could see the passion exhibited by PDP. That look, Izzyam actually won that election. That was on the current year, and that was couldn't win. But again, Ojasope, to be brutally honest, this scenario doesn't even make sense to you. Today, Hosanna. Tomorrow, crucify him. The same person you are going to tell us, what does it speak about political parties in Nigeria generally, in terms of ideology, in terms of what drives you? Or like a lot of people have actually said, political parties in Nigeria are just mere vehicle to attain power. Forget about the nomenclature. Forget about they don't even have any.
No.
I mean, that in itself, be brutally honest with me. Izeyamo was a man 4 years ago.
And he's not their man. Abi.
It's not their man. So Obaseki was a man you wanted out.
No.
Now suddenly you are telling the same people of Edo now that Obaseki is the man. I mean, the whole thing is confusing.
Mayor, we must understand something about our democracy here. We must be honest with ourselves. We are not yet practicing ideology
based democracy.
And we have to be sincere
driven
with that. In Nigeria, what we do, we follow our interest and we follow leaders. So, if Engineer Seyi Makinde decides today that, oh yeah, we are going to SDP, you see us, because he represents the ideology, not the party. And we have to be sincere. Our political practice has not gotten to that level that people will stick to party because of the manifesto or the ideology. So when the people in APC, they begin to call themselves progressive, I say, who are the retrogressive? Because
you, the
when,
PDP.
when you win an election, look at all the states. Don't let us deceive ourselves. Governors come with their own vision. They try to marry it a bit with the party manifesto, but basically look at it, scrutinize it. You see that is the visionaire for that 4 years, and he runs it. So don't let us deceive ourselves. So interest has changed. Iyamu left for APC, and PDP was still scouting for a very good replacement, and they ejected Obaseki. It was more like an exchange.
If you are looking for, like you say, PDP was looking for a very good replacement.
That means
which means to PDP, Obaseki need to be removed from power. If you are looking for a good replacement.
No, are you saying we should not have feeded anybody against Obaseki?
No, look, what I'm saying is, decision to field against Obaseki is a fait accompli because you believe he has to be sent out, right?
Yes.
Why, as we speak now?
No, I've told you, interest. Interest. No, we have to be sincere with the interest is paramount. Iyamu's interest has taking him to APC. Now, the next platform available for Obaseki is PDP.
A weak platform, so that is rightly available.
You said that a couple of days ago, and I laughed.
It's a weak platform.
Now let me talk.
If PDP is a serious platform,
hold on.
we'll not be expecting an Obaseki.
No, you don't even need to talk.
Because
hold on a second. You don't even need to talk, because if you're going to talk about each of platforms that are weak, that are stronger, how many governors do we have on the platform of PDP today? How many? How many APC governors do we have? We have more PDP governors now in this country.
No, just short of one.
Short of one. That doesn't tell you that platform is weak.
As Edo election.
No, hold on a second. That doesn't mean that.
I have response for you.
I've already explained, because I wanted to be really focused.
When you're talking about interest, like I told you, sincerely, we are moved by our interest. The party too has interest. What's the interest of the party? To win the election.
Being in charge.
Yes, to be
and
in charge.
Obaseki is a good deal.
I'm telling you.
Because
sincerely.
he's an incumbent.
No,
right?
I told him a few days ago, look, an incumbent governor is a platform on his own. He said PDP in Edo State is weak. That's the same way they were saying in 2018 about Oyo State. You know what I was saying then? And Olorun Ije come up with PDP strong. In Edo State, PDP has 2 senators. In Edo State, out of the 9 seats of the federal rep, PDP has 5. Now, in the State House of Assembly, out of 24, 14 has decamped with Obaseki to PDP. And you are saying it's a weak platform. How do you define weakness? You understand?
Let me go to Adesokan. I mean, look, the optics itself, because I also know you are passionate about, democracy and the need for us to, entrench it in our system here. It doesn't make sense to you that a man you railed and fought against 4 years ago is a yam, right? You did all to ensure that you crush him. The way things are, I'm not too sure, just like him too. For your party to come back and tell the people of Edo State that he's a yam, is not the Messiah they're looking for. I mean, help me make sense of it. I just don't get it.
Let me just make just a little. That's what we call democratic makeup. I think that's what our party is going to do. Eze Yama has always been with us. He was national vice chairman of our party, South, when we were defunct ACN. And to be honest with our
you're gonna give me a rebirth.
Of course, democratic makeup. So in essence, we are talking about platform that can swallow candidates. In Oyo State, we had a candidate, Guba candidate, that spent billions of naira on his own, and now he emerges. Nobody can talk to him. Like he mentioned, he cited an example. If incumbent governor decides to move to a party tomorrow, most of them will move along with him. It tells you more about when this spending much billions to emerge as Guba candidates, senatorial candidates, you tall above the party. And in progressive fold, we've been trying to manage such. It's not as speaking volume like the PDP, the Republican, or the retrogressive platform.
No, they are not retrogressive. Maybe I mean, Republican.
Yes.
Even though they talk about being conservative, but okay, please go ahead.
So the point I'm making here is, and Eze Yamo coming back to our platform, we are going to employ democratic makeup. But in larger view, to be honest, our democratic culture,
is it pleasant?
Our democratic culture is still evolving. As such, should be accommodated for now. Because in the US, people quick to make reference to US, the ideological based democracy. We have the Democrat, we have the Republican. In US, Abraham Lincoln was actually killed as sitting president. 100 years later, we had J.F. Kennedy murdered as sitting president. Anthony General of the United States was also murdered. Martin Luther King was murdered in 1968. So we are not clamoring for murder or killing of our people here. What we are saying is our democratic culture is still nascent. 21 years.
Because you just cited the United States of America, how often do you see folks, crisscrossing, cross-carpeting,
they've actually grown through the ranks over 200 years of democracy. And ours has been interjection upon interjection by the military khaki men. Until 1999, when we had a stabilized democratic life.
We will have a break. For both of you, when we come back, won't your party be ashamed to go before Edo people to present the same candidate you crucified 4 years ago? That's next when we come back.
Fresh 105.9 FM, your feel-good radio.
ẹ̀yin èèyàn ìpínlẹ̀ ọ̀yọ́ o ǹjẹ́ ẹ ti gbọ́ pé kí ni. kí mùdùmùdù ètò ìṣàkóso ìjọba lè délé dóko. ìdí nìyí tí ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ ọ̀yọ́ ṣe máa ka iye ilé tó wà lórí ilẹ̀ ìpínlẹ̀ ọ̀yọ́ láti mọ àwọn àyè àti ibi tí àwọn nǹkan amúlùdùn máa kalẹ̀ sí kà. ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ ọ̀yọ́ fẹ́ ka iye ilé tó wà ní ìpínlẹ̀ ọ̀yọ́. kíka iye ilé tó wà ní ìpínlẹ̀ ọ̀yọ́ máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti oṣù kẹfà ọdún 2020. láti àsìkò yìí lọ ẹ ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní rí àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ìjọba tó ní àmì ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ ọ̀yọ́ lára lójúlédé ojúlé ní gbogbo ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ àtijọba ìbílẹ̀ onídàgbàsókè tó wà ní ìpínlẹ̀ ọ̀yọ́ pátá. tẹ́ ẹ bá ti rí wọn ìjọba ló rán wọn níṣẹ́ o láti wá ka gbogbo ilé àdúgbò yín. ńṣe ni kẹ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú ìjọba kí mùdùmùdù ètò ìṣàkóso àti àwọn nǹkan amáyédẹrùn lè délé gbogbo wa o. jẹ́ kí wọ́n ka ilé tiẹ̀ náà kí gbogbo wa bá lè jẹ́ alábàápín nínú àǹfààní tíjọba gbé kalẹ̀. ìkéde yìí wá láti ọ̀dọ̀ iléeṣẹ́ tó wà fún ọ̀rọ̀ ilẹ̀ ilégbèé àti ìdàgbàsókè agbègbè ní ìpínlẹ̀ ọ̀yọ́.
ó ti dàbí ẹni pé ilẹ̀kùn tí ètò ọrọ̀ ajé àti ti ìṣúná lágbàáyé lọ́wọ́ yìí ó dúró wá pé ǹjẹ́ o mọ̀ pé àwọn kan sì gbáyé rọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ìwọ náà lè darapọ̀ mọ́ wọn lónìí kí ìwọ náà bọ́ lọ́wọ́ kòsíkòsí kó o yẹ ìwojú ẹgbẹ́ kó o tó jẹun tàbí gbọ́ bùkátà ọ̀nà ìrọ̀rùn yẹn náà rẹ o Freedom Synergy Pro ni Freedom Synergy Pro ọ̀pọ̀ àwọn tó ti gbégbé sí ọlọ́gbọ́n yàrá yòlò ni wọ́n ń ṣe lọ́wọ́ yìí nítorí pé gbogbo ìgbàlówó ń wọlé sínú àsùnwọ̀n wọn ọjọ́ tó o bá ti darapọ̀ ìtura dé nìyẹn ìwọ náà gbégbé sí ọlọ́gbọ́n darapọ̀ mọ́ Freedom Synergy Pro lónìí kò ní nǹkan kan ṣe pẹ̀lú mo kàwé tàbí mi ò kàwé. bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni kò sì ná ní wàhálà kankan. kẹ̀rẹ́ owó péréte níṣẹ́ kó lọ́ọ́ máa kó tí owó wọlé wá fún ọ. òṣìṣẹ́ ìjọba oníṣẹ́ ọwọ́ oníṣòwò ọmọ ìkọ́ṣẹ́ àtọmọ iléèwé lè darapọ̀. láti darapọ̀ ìwọ kàn fi àtẹ̀jíṣẹ́ yes sọ̀wọ́ sórí nọ́mbà 08144990027 08144990027 Freedom Synergy Pro darapọ̀ lónìí òkú ò lẹ́gbẹ́ kòsíkòsí.
Fresh 105.9 FM, your feel-good radio.
This is Crossfire. Sundays at 4 p.m. with the irresistible Mayor Isaac Brown.
Now, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world on
105.9.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Crossfire.
Nigerian political parties and their shamelessness, right, is what we're trying to look at this wonderful afternoon here at the Southwest Political Headquarters with two chieftains of both the PDP and the APC in the building. I'm going to stick with Ojasokwe, the PDP rep here. Ojasokwe, to be brutally honest, if eventually Obaseki gets your ticket, your party is going to go back to the people of Edo State to say, look, this is the Messiah that you need for another 4 years. A man that you have chastised your party. I follow what's been going on before this crisis broke out as a non-performer. A man that you have said has been doing, as far as you're concerned, badly. But like Riley said now, a sitting governor, an incumbent, is an added advantage. That's reality. But how do you go to before the people of Edo? Hold on.
Blow this thing out of proportion.
How do you go? I'll still come back to him too. How do you go back to Edo people and say, Obaseki, this is your Messiah now? And of course, for Adesokan, if much more likely, Izayam is going to get that ticket. You now go back again and tell the people of Edo State that the man that you defeated 4 years ago, the man that you said was not capable, the man that you said so much, that this is not the man. Let me start with Ojasokwe. Does that add up?
Don't blow it out of proportion, like I said. Even in the United States, 4 years ago, Obama was campaigning for Hillary Clinton, and they were blacklisting Joe Biden. It's not this, it's not that, just for Hillary to pick the ticket. But what is happening now? The same Obama is the one fronting and campaigning for Biden. You understand? So, it happens. So don't let us look at...
The example you have cited, you are talking about folks within the same party.
Yes,
The
no.
coup always have issues. I'm talking about folks
the
outside.
issues that were blown open.
I agree with you.
So,
but
what's the difference?
I'm talking about the fact that, come on, Ojasope, you told us PDP is the answer. PDP, as we know it, is not Obaseki. Now the man is now PDP because he's joining your party 3 weeks to the election. Does it make sense? You're not going to go back to the same people that this Obaseki is the Messiah. It doesn't make sense.
No, you have to understand, and I think you understand. You're just...
No, I'm asking you. You should, it is you. I do understand. The public, what they're asking is this. At what point in time are we going to begin to, believe you political parties? Believe, because at the point in time you're telling us this man is this. The same party is coming back to tell us this man is that. Why should we believe political parties again? I agree with you. You've raised one fundamental, that politics in Nigeria is individual driven, right? I agree with you. How do we step it up?
No, to step it up, because that's one of the main things that we have to face in our, like you said, evolving democracy. But to step people up, we have to make sure that the power belongs to the people. You understand? For instance, even in the emergence of Obaseki as the candidate, you know that he will still go through the process. In PDP, anybody can pick the ticket. That's one thing. It doesn't matter. No, seriously. Because once you have what it takes to campaign and win the people, that's one thing about PDP. In fact... Oh,
you're saying internal democracy reigns supreme in your party?
I'm telling you. Yes. Better than their party. I'm telling you.
I hope you are following up the skirmishes coming from Edo. The members of the party are already raising dust as regards Obaseki is coming, right?
In any gathering of human beings, you should understand that there are some people that had their own interest that were paramount before the entrance of Obaseki into the PDP. So definitely such people will not be happy until their interests are factored into the new political equation. That is normal in any political party. But what I'm saying, you ask me a question.
Is the ideal? Is the ideal thing? It's good for our democracy?
Like I told you, that is where we are now in our evolving democratic practice. Maybe by 2022-23, we'll have improved. But until we have a situation where the majority that will actually win the vote, you are not waiting for a legal manipulation or election engineering. Until we get to that level, we don't have any solution in sight.
Adesokan, you are going back to the people of Edo State now. That if eventually, which is most likely, the man you vilified, 4 years ago, the man you chastised 4 years ago, the man that you said was not competent enough.
They'll call a thief. They called him a thief.
The man is not the man is not the Messiah. Does it add up?
Thank you very much. The man we vilified, the man we chastised, and what have you. At this juncture of political life, all those ones are relative, to be sincere with you, within Nigerian political context. And Ize Yamu has always been with us. One thing that Ojasope and PDP gangs should realize, that we studied Edo political demography very well. In 2006, when our party, defunct AC, came on board, we actually hijacked the PDP elements that are very strong enough at their various units. Lucky Igbinedion, Lucky Maswen, Chief Tommy Kimi, they were all on our sides. And we defeated Professor Osumbo, late Professor Stella Obasanjo's cousin. And here we are, INEC declared PDP. We went to court, retrieved back our stolen mandate in 2012. So in 2010, so at this juncture of our life, we've gone beyond. It tells you more about sophisticated platform of progressive people, that we can look into the eyes of a sitting governor, that here you are not in tandem with our democratic practice, our platform manifestos.
Oh, are you saying Obaseki, as far as you are concerned,
yes,
offended
our party platform,
not Oshiomhole?
Not Oshiomhole.
It's not the people of Edo State.
Oshiomhole is beyond what is happening in Edo. Is beyond an Oshiomhole. Oshoma is just a central figure. I must claim to you here, we have undercurrents in our party. There are external ants that you are not seeing in Edo Imbroglio. Talking about Rotimi Amechi, Victor Giadom, as witness in the purported judgment you are seeing flying kites in Abuja. The Rotimi Amechi, the Bikule Amosun, Kayode Fayemi, Angu, the wings in the APC, Atiku Bagudu, El Rufai, Tinubu, Ajimobi, our own camp. So you see, there is no crime to have caucuses in political party. We witnessed it in PDP. A sitting governor in PDP was not even allowed to enjoy his mandate. High Chief Adewolu Ladoja here in Ibadan turned to garrison commander when we have this sort of characters becoming speaker, impeaching an Ikuben governor before the Niyi Akintolas. Yusuf Ali went to court.
That's what you want to repeat now.
So and sent back Ladoja, and the same Ladoja, we saw what happened in Akure when Ladoja Akala were Bode George swindled in courts that come to Akure, come and get your ticket. On getting to Akure, we saw what happened when in the presence of sitting president, gunshots rented the air. So PDP are known for legalism, gangsterism, and what have you. So we are not doing so. We told Obaseki, if you are popular enough, seek another platform. Bringing back Ize-Iyamu. We are telling our Edo people, Oba Atokpa, we came to you 4 years ago from Benin to Uromi to Ura Ubiaja, Sabongida Ora. We are telling our people, Jetu Opela, that we, All Progressive Congress, that we actually offered our platform for a certain Obaseki, whom we believe, as at that time in our political judgment, will do better for the lot of Edo people.
Let me just ask you one question. Outside the infraction or whatever offense, that you think Obaseki, actually had with the leadership of your party, to be brutally honest, how will you describe his 4 years in terms of dividend of democracy to the people of Edo State?
Fair to some extent, because we were not allowing him to actually derail until he turned himself to bull in a China shop. When a sitting governor look into the eyes of the party faithfuls, demolishing houses at will, turn himself to an emperor. So we cannot marry such characters with our platform. The same thing is Talakawa.
So you think if you give him the opportunity to, vie for another election, a return election, he was going to be a liability to your party?
He's already a liability that PDP is actually inheriting. He's a liability on his own. The 100 of Wikes, 100 of Udo Manuel cannot elect him or get him elected back into governance.
You have made one valid point about the fact that an incumbent governor, anytime, any day in the world, is an asset. Yes. You had what he has portrayed. Is this born out of malice or what? Or you think of fact?
Evidently, it's born out of malice because he said he has done fairly. And all his explanation has just been to explain what Obaseki has done against the party. But what is the percentage of the party members from the electorate if the majority actually have the say? That's what you look at. Then coming back to the issue of Obaseki, Obaseki in 2016 had no record. We have not tested his performance. So, like I told you earlier, a sitting governor is a platform on his own. Just like in any other party, the incumbents. That's why it is always easier for incumbents to pick tickets to return. Because you have followers, whether for performance or for personal aggrandizement purpose, they just follow you. So you have a lot of followers. So Obaseki in the last 4 years has proven himself as being marketable. He has proven himself contrary to the opinion we had of him in 2016. You understand what I'm saying? So it makes it easier to sell him in 2020. But beyond that, the most important thing is the opinion of the electorate. If you deny Obaseki your platform, because what he was saying, it was just born, like the Yorubas will say, Ijalode, Lorindo, all this is saying, if in the last 24 hours there has been reconciliation, or like he said, according to his camp, the acting national chairman doesn't come to their camp, and Obaseki is invited back to come and contest on the platform of APC, he will not be saying all this. He say, he has promised. You understand? So, like, he is just defending his own interest. But we must look at the interest of the people of Edo State. Where does their interest lie?
Their interest is secured. I will tell you and our people today, the opinion molders are the political actors. Would-be voters are neutral-minded individuals. They go about their normal businesses. When the election time comes, opinion molders, image makers, the media platforms, they mold opinion of would-be voters. That's why you see social platforms.
Use
let me land.
No, I was still talking.
Even though overseas, their opinion molders would-be voters are non-partisan people. They don't have any interest either in PDP or APC. They are not bothered.
But they also have interest in good governance.
Good governance. And we, the political actors, the image makers, the influencers, mold their opinions towards a particular platform or a candidature in which we want him to emerge. So that tells you more about a particular platform of our party, progressive platform, whom the people of Edo have actually enjoyed. If you know Benin, state capital, before 2012, 2008, you will know it was glorified capital. As you are entering Benin city from Usoli Lagos Road, going to Bowo, Ring Road, Upper Lawani, Mission Road, it is erosion to Sapele Road. It was one certain Oshiomole that even the immediate late Oba of Benin spoke to his people. If I had Benin man, Lucky Benedion, as governor of this state, and my capital, my city, is glorified capital, and Oshiomole from Auchi Jetu is coming to actually redesign and improve infrastructure of Benin metropolis, I will go for an Oshiomole, not my son, Lucky Benedion, whom has actually been sentenced by the courts to have looted fund in Edo State. And he is a member of PDP till dates, Lucky Benedion. And it was our platform, ACN, APC, that redefined Edo State.
Why I agree with you that Izeyamu has had stints with your party,
yes.
And as far as you are concerned, it's just like a prodigal son coming back home. But the fact that your party vilified this guy 4 years ago because it was on the platform of PDP, and now you are selling the same man that you have told people do state.
I
mean,
cosmetic democracy.
Mayor, you are a big player in this.
No, I'm just asking you.
I will respond.
Let us be brutally honest. Do you really think this is pleasant? I mean, do you really think this is pleasant? How are we going to get to a point where, win or lose, this is where I belong?
We are getting there. When a sitting governor sees that his own re-election ticket is being threatened by his actions and inactions, such governors or a sitting governor, we actually.
Do you think his action or vested interest of his godfather will show more in this circumstance?
Either way, what is of essence is.
Can you imagine? Either way.
Yes, we owns the platform. He should go and contest any platform he chooses to. Izeyamu vilifying, being a thief, all these words are.
You're going to sell that thief now to the people of Edo State. These are
relative. Choice of words. As at the time we believed in the judgment of Obaseki, and now 4 years later, our platform, believes in the political judgment of Izeyamu.
Maybe like Labu said yesterday, he has seen the light.
Yes,
you have seen the light.
You have taken towards the light.
So Ojasope, you too, you have seen the light in Obaseki. My God. Hello, good evening. Good evening. Good evening. You are on.
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Yes, thanks so much for joining us. Your name, sir?
Yeah, Edo is my name.
Please go ahead, sir. Make a contribution.
Yes. I used to listen to that talk. But I never knew he's a politician to the core.
Who's that?
You said?
I'm not hearing you, sir.
I said, I used to listen to Mr. Adesokan.
Okay.
I never knew he's a politician. But now I know. But that's just by the way. Now, let us talk of the issue of Obaseki and Izeyamu. 4 years ago, Obaseki was sold to the people of Edo State. He was not having any issue. All the issue about the certificates with which they said they disqualified him was okay through Oshiomole. Now, the same Obaseki that was that was clean 4 years ago now becomes dirty.
Shame.
In the eyes of Shomole.
Shame on them. All these, my friends here, and political parties in Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
Shame on all of you.
I think Shomole should be charged to court.
For what?
Yes, because he presented Obaseki who fraudulent means. That's the way I look at it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You know, do you really think, to deepen our democracy, that we should not begin to have more of course, political parties, naturally, people of like minds come together, you know, to work together, irrespective, you know, of anyway, the bottom line when it comes to governance, you want to wrestle power, whichever way, you know. But a situation like the one we're experiencing in Edo, I want to, because we're rounding up now, do you think our democracy can develop where we have a party shouting Hosanna today, crucify him tomorrow, to our people? Are you, the political, are they taking Nigerians for granted? Unfortunately, we don't have independent candidature. Because for me, the two gentlemen that both parties are likely to present now in Edo State were people vilified over and over again by the same party who want to sponsor them. Your brutal, honest, you know, assessment as we wrap up this conversation.
Thank you, Mayor. No, the way forward, I stated earlier, is when votes count. You know, when the average man on the street knows that when I vote, my vote will count, and my candidate or whoever wins through the proper election.
I vote not counting. Won here now.
No, that's what counted in Oyo State. I'm saying that, you know, you're looking at the bigger picture now, all over generally. The country. You know, when it gets to that point, people, even the so-called godfathers, will be afraid. But for what you have now, like you were saying, he said they have the machinery, they have the media, they will tell you. They are relying on telling lies.
No, excuse me. The way I manner the primary process in APC was even conducted, very quite disgusting. When you look at how Obaseki was disqualified, the same person that your party approved that Benicio 4 years ago, you know, now, like you said,
the Bayelsa scenario informed our decision. We lost totally in Bayelsa.
Because you did not scrutinize.
Of course,
certificates.
It was not properly scrutinized in Bayelsa.
Are you aware?
And we don't want a repeat of Bayelsa in
NYSC has corrected.
They should go back. The PDP should do whatever they can
has
do.
corrected that.
That is their problem. The PDP and Obaseki.
It shows your party is not thorough.
Obaseki is no longer with us. We experience a fallout in Bayelsa, and we don't want a repeat of Bayelsa.
We are afraid of losing
scenario.
Anyway, so it's okay.
Let's meet at the field. The Edo people are with us. Obawa Tokpa, APC, we are coming back to you.
I pity you.
Sorry for our judgment 4 years ago. Ize Yamu is back. Oshomole is back. And we are actually giving you
when you
democracy.
said politicians are shameless, you see that it's a good representation. It's a good representation of shameless politicians. I'm ashamed of what he's talking. I'm ashamed of what he's talking.
Is Obaseki the solution?
He said?
Is Obaseki the goal in Edo?
I won't tell you that now.
Your party is not
if you don't have candidates. If he gets the ticket, do you think?
If he gets the ticket, he's going to win.
Kenneth Imaswagbon. What happened to Kenneth Imaswagbon? Honorable Hammer. That means your party was actually playwright political party.
Thank you, gentlemen. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
We'll see you guys tomorrow 10 o'clock at the station room. Baba Agba.
It's my pleasure.
Thank
you very much.
At the corner. Bolade Salami next.
Fresh 105.9 FM, your feel-good radio. Fresh FM.
Ìròyìn tí ò lẹ́tàn, ètò òwe tí gbọ́, àṣà àtòní àgbọ̀ ọ̀tán. Fresh FM 105.9 Ìbàdàn. Let's go.
Fresh FM.
Fresh FM 105.9 Ìbàdàn. Ìyáálé àyíbá fáwọn rédíò tó kù.
Ara kẹ́ńgé tún ti dòde o, ẹ jẹ́ ká jọgbó. Bóyá ká jọgbó ètò nìkan ní Fresh FM.
Oh yes.
Pẹ̀lú Abọ́ládé Sàlámì. lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ kájọ gbọ́. Ara gẹ́ngẹ́ tún ti dòde kájọ gbọ́. Kájọ gbọ́. Pẹ̀lú Abọ́ládé Sàlámì kájọ gbọ́. Ní Fresh FM 105.9 kájọ gbọ́. Ìkànnì tó ń kilẹ̀ falafala kájọ gbọ́. Ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Sunday kájọ gbọ́. Kájọ gbọ́. Lábala lètò ara gẹ́ngẹ́ yìí kájọ gbọ́. Òwe lẹ́ṣin ọ̀rọ̀ ìyẹn ń bẹ níbẹ̀ kájọ gbọ́. Ẹ̀kọ́ ẹlẹ́kọ̀ lẹ́gbà ẹlẹ́gbà kájọ gbọ́. Alárinà ń kọ́ ìyẹn tó ń fa kìkì kájọ gbọ́. Kábàániwọ̀kọ̀ kadẹ̀ tó ń bá ní wá.